Okay, battery back in. If this doesn't work, it will be a disaster for our trip. Moment of truth. Nope. We are on the way to Zimbabwe. Well, actually on the way to Zvakanaka campsite, which is our stopover, and then we're on the way to Messina and Beitbridge water post and through to Zimbabwe. Looking forward to it. This is going to be a trip through the eastern side of Zimbabwe. Our last trip through Zim was along the western boundary, so this is going to be Eastern Highlands all the way up to Kanyemba, which is the northernmost point of the country on the Zambezi River. Again, looking forward to this trip. Now, it's been quite a process to get to where we are now, on the way to the border post. As you will note, it is night time. We discovered very late that the border crossing requirements have changed somewhat. Had to get police clearance for the vehicle, amongst other requirements, so lots of documentation and so on. So yeah, spent the most of the day rushing around trying to sort things out, which in the end worked out pretty well. Police clearance from Langlaagte, very efficient, very quick. Drove in, guys knew what they needed, what they were supposed to do. I had all the right stuff as well. Took all of about half an hour or so, and of course I couldn't pack the car. We couldn't pack the car because we weren't certain as to what was going on and so on, and we had to get all the documentation sorted out first, and then it started raining, so it took us a while to get everything sorted. But now we are on the way. Sleep over at Zvakanaka, one of our favorite campsites in Limpopo, and you can see our review episode on that. We've done a recent review, so it was one of the first campsites we reviewed, and we've done a more recent one. The place has improved significantly. It was great to start with, and it's much better now, so it's a really cool spot to go to. I recommend it, especially if you're driving through to Beit Bridge or to Pafuri or something like that. It's a good stopover point. So yeah, we're gonna have a very short sleep, get up as early as we can, and then get on to Beit Bridge. Beit Bridge border post is a challenge, usually, patience-wise, but we've made contact with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, and we'll see how that process goes. We'll definitely report back to you guys on that, but that should make it a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. So they're there to assist tourists that are entering Zimbabwe through Beit Bridge and make that, or expedite that process. So, fingers crossed. Let's see how that goes.
Quarter-past 3, we've arrived at Zvakanaka. We are in a cottage, not camping tonight. It's going to be a short sleep, maybe 4 hours, give or take, and then we've got to be on our way.
New day. Good 3 hours of sleep. It's a good thing that we relay when we're driving, so that is quite a bonus of having a significant other who's a responsible driver. Very good driver, fantastic. Best driver I've ever driven. Left Zvakanaka just after 8 o'clock, straight to Messina, mainly because I was worried about a nail that we picked up, front left tire. Pulled in at the Tiger Wheel and Tire there. Well done, Tiger Wheel and Tire. Guys were really efficient on the ball, making things happen. The culprits. Great service from Tiger Wheel and Tyre. Must commend the guys. Well done, great job. Tyre sorted, onto the Beit Bridge border post. Got to the South African side. Bit of roadworks and things happening there, so had to follow a couple of random things. Also filled up fuel before leaving, just in case. It's kind of easier because when you're in Zimbabwe, you've got to pay in cash, in dollars or rands for fuel. So good thing to try and fill up before leaving the border. Fairly quick and painless process getting out of South Africa. Always easier getting out of countries than getting into it. So that took, I think, all of half an hour maybe, and then over the Beit Bridge, over the Limpopo River, and onto the Zimbabwean border post at Beit Bridge. Now, the last time we went through Beit Bridge border post, it was a long process. It was time consuming, a little bit frustrating because nothing seemed to be happening a lot of the time. This time, it was fantastic. Took us approximately an hour from the time we arrived there. It looks like they finally finished building the new border setup there, very clearly marked out. And if you're a tourist, go to the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority. They will assist you. Made our lives a lot better. Thanks, Cleopatra in particular. Very effective, very efficient. We contacted her before we went and she told us all the documents that we needed to bring, and so we got all the documents that we needed to bring, and it worked out really well. She took us through the process step by step, almost holding our hands, not quite, and it was a really good experience. All the people working at the border post, fantastic. The revenue authority, the police, the immigration, it's a really good experience. People are very professional, they're on the ball, and things are happening, and that Beit Bridge border post is looking really good. There were a few queues for people traveling through the border post, not tourists, not doing the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority assistance thing. But even then, those queues were pretty short. I'd say longest queue was definitely less than 20 people long. Yeah, it's really nice. The border post is really nice. It's got an electronic system. You get a card when you drive in with a QR code. You can check your QR code anytime to see where you are in the process or if there's something you haven't done. It's really good. I can't fault it. It was great. It was a good experience. And yeah, very important, Beit Bridge border post. Not a single tout in sight. Nobody, nothing. We arrived there, we drove in, we parked. Nobody harassing us. Nobody offering unexpected or undesired assistance. Nobody crowding around the car. It was great. It was great. That's how the border post is supposed to be. It was fantastic. We drove in there, we did the things we needed to do, we drove out, we had no hassles. So well done to the Border Management Authority. Beit Bridge border is looking great, guys. Shortly after that, we were out of the border post, onto the road now to Ngundu Holt. From Ngundu Holt, you turn off, drive through to Savé Conservancy. Went through our first police roadblock, got stopped, pulled over, TIP checked, which is standard procedure. Yeah, it was pretty quick. There's no real issues. Obviously I was a bit concerned that we got pulled over off the road, but yeah, it was a couple of minutes. Guys checked the TIP, checked my passport, confirmed that who I am is who is on the TIP, and we're back on the road. So approaching Ngundu Holt, still a few kilometers from there. But plain sailing so far, very hot outside. This is one of the hottest places in Zimbabwe, the confluence of the Savé and the Runde rivers, very close to where we are in Gonarejo National Park. That is the lowest altitude in the country, and so it's really hot here next to the Limpopo. It's going to be even hotter in Kanyemba, which is the northernmost point of Zim in the Zambezi Valley. But until then, we've got other things to do. Well, the road is pretty good for quite a while, and now it's not good. So we're back onto what is probably the original road. There's quite a bit of road improvement on some of these major highways in Zim, and we are on a portion that clearly hasn't yet been upgraded, and it's not great. Lots of potholes. It's very narrow. The edges are damaged. There's quite a bit of creep on the edges, so passing trucks and stuff in the opposite direction is uncomfortable, to say the least. So yeah, it's a pity, especially since we paid $4 at the toll gate. United States dollars. We had a good amount of good road, but was it $4 worth? I don't know.
$4.
Cool.
Look. Hey, you guys are killing us, yeah?
What?
But yeah, the road's pretty hectic. There are many sections of the road where it's better off the road than on the road, actually. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of traffic, quite a few trucks coming in the opposite direction, which is uncomfortable. Anyway, there's some really bad potholes here. And it's not quite clear what drivers are going to do, so it's better to get past them if you can. Yeah, so the road's pretty bad. The potholes are across the entire road. It's impossible to avoid them completely, and so we're down to quite a slow speed. We're down to just under 40 kilometers an hour now. Sure, been a long day of driving. Beit Bridge border post was good. Still took us a while to get here. Some of the road from Beit Bridge to here wasn't great, or at least some of the main highway between Beit Bridge and the Ngundu halt turn off. Just the last few kilometers really before Ngundu halt were very slow. Highway was really good up to that point. It was really nice. And from there, quite a drive past Triangle, past Chiredzi, and then turn off. And we arrived here at the Savé Conservancy. So we are camping in Savé Conservancy. And a bit dark when we got here. Dark, but the sun had gone down when we arrived, and still light. So we put up the rooftop tent, not the ground tent. Not enough time to do it, but beautiful driving in here. It's a really beautiful set of Mopani woodland and some umbrella thorn trees. We saw quite a few animals as well on the way in, which is kind of difficult with woodland, especially thick woodland of this kind. But we saw a nice herd of buffalo. In fact, we saw buffalo twice. Saw a nice big herd of buffalo, giraffe, kudu, impala, waterbuck, crocodiles, warthogs. So we saw quite a few things on the way in here. I think I've forgotten some of the stuff that we saw. It was a nice drive in, so looking forward to driving around over the next couple of days. Yes, glad to be at our first destination. So the trip has officially begun, and I'm really glad to be here. It's a beautiful evening. Cicadas are
buzzing in the background. Elephants are making noises. This is a big 5 area. Haven't heard any lions yet. Don't want to hear any right now. Just want to eat and go to sleep. So they got a fire going for us before they left. The people that run the place. Thanks, Jed. Yeah, we've got our wors busy melting. It was in the freezer. We're going to get that on a couple of rolls with some nice ripe cherry tomatoes. That's going to be our dinner tonight, and then we're going to have a good shower. It's a nice shower set up here, and then hit the sack. And yeah, tomorrow's a new day, and it's going to be time to explore tomorrow.
Right, we're on the road exploring Savé Valley Conservancy. We sat around most of yesterday because we were just kind of relaxing from the long drive to get from Joburg through the border to Savé Valley Conservancy, also adjusting to the temperature. Yesterday was 43 degrees Celsius according to the Badger, and today it's 42 degrees. Obviously we're going out at the hottest time of the day, which is not ideal. We're kind of driving around randomly. Unfortunately, we don't have a map. The situation is that the management of the camp are all away for a wedding event, and so yeah, the maps apparently are locked up in the office, so we don't have a map. So we're kind of just now randomly driving on the roads, not sure where we're going. There's a number of places of interest in the information with GPS coordinates, but yeah, you can't just put in a coordinate, but if you don't know the roads to get there, then yeah, it's not great. So as you will have noticed, we are not in the trusty 80 Land Cruiser, the Wild Dog as we call it. We're in the new vehicle. Been a bit of a crazy year, so we haven't had a chance to introduce you to the Badger, which is a Ford Ranger twin cab 4x4. The Badger was acquired earlier in the year. So when we bought the vehicle, it came with a few things, bumpers and stuff like that, the canopy, all nice. A couple of things we wanted: a long range tank, also a roof rack, a table built into the roof rack, a second battery or a backup battery, which is the National Lunar DC25 battery box that we've got in the back, and a couple of other things here and there. That was supposed to be installed, and we're supposed to pick up the vehicle. The guys that sold the vehicle did a fantastic job. The guys that were doing the installations, yeah, when I went to pick up the vehicle, nothing was right, everything was wrong. So yeah, I need to rant a bit more about the installations. It was a really disappointing exercise. You know, a lot of the stuff I can install myself, but obviously I've got a day job, and you know, I don't have that time to be putting on roof racks and everything else, and you know, those are kind of simple things that should just work. You know, setting up a lithium ion battery with the correct charge settings, you know, that's kind of basic. So that's peeved me off quite a bit. And when we went to fetch the vehicle in Gqeberha, Nelson Mandela Metro, which is where we purchased it, when we went to fetch the vehicle, the tank hadn't been installed, so that had to be installed by somebody else in Joburg, and part was broken on the vehicle, which unfortunately they tried to hide away. As I was told at the shop, the owner takes no responsibility for anything that breaks in his workshop. Although after some arguing and not a pleasant experience, there was a promise to fix that, but that promise has never been upheld. Load bin slider was supposed to be a front runner one, something else was installed, wasn't happy with it, took it off, got a refund. The roof rack was on the canopy instead of on the cab. The table was inserted inside the canopy, which is not the plan because we have a drawer system, and the table then will take up that much space and you've got to drop it down to pull it out, and it was supposed to be underneath the roof rack. So had to have all of that removed. The DC25 was not quite installed, obviously. So, problems. The battery suddenly went off and the fridges stopped working, and this whole national lunar setup was off, and I'm trying to figure out why. So to start with, I've opened it up, and the first issue here is that even though we've got a lithium battery, it's still set to AGM or gel battery. It should be set to lithium ion. Now I've got to figure out how to change that. In the meanwhile, of course, our lithium ion battery seems to be completely depleted. The voltage across the battery is 0.1, 0.2 volts, which is a bad situation, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm gonna change this to lithium ion, and then let's see if that makes a difference. But so far it has not been charging the battery. Well, from the time that it's switched off suddenly. Anyway, let's see if we can find the actual switch. The booklet is not entirely accurate, which I discovered when I started taking out the screws that hold everything in. So what it shows and what's actually there is slightly different. No problem. I'm hoping that the actual switch to change the battery settings is under this lid. So let's do that. And yes, it is. Okay. Okay, sorted. Change that. Hopefully that's the right setup. Truthfully, from the time that we've had the installations on the Ford by the installer, it's been nothing but problems. And even this is just like a really basic thing, you know. This is like just obvious. So yeah, the games continue, and hopefully we haven't destroyed the battery. Oh, I'm quite peeved. You know, this is one of several issues. It's like absolutely nothing these guys have done is correct. Like literally, like almost everything they've done is wrong. That's not to mention the things that they didn't do. So the National Lunar product should be a pretty good product. You know, it's well known. I don't think there's an issue with the box itself. I don't know yet, but we'll have to see. Right, reassembled. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, it will be a disaster for our trip, because we have a fridge, combined fridge freezer, and we've got a freezer as well with our meat and stuff in it. So this trip's going to be 3 weeks. So if this doesn't work, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. Luckily we have auxiliary methods of doing things, but this won't last the whole night. Yeah, that's a 500 watt hour lithium ion setup over there. So running both of these, that'll give us maybe 3-4 hours or something like that. And in the morning we can, you know, position the car in the morning so that we have some solar as soon as the sun comes up. But that's the sort of position that we don't want to be in. We want this to work. This is very important. Okay, so let's put the battery back in. Unfortunately, we have solar panels, but the solar charge control is also not working. Don't know why. So I was trying to charge the lithium ion battery off the solar while trying to figure out the battery box situation. I don't know if I've figured out the battery box situation. All I've done is get the settings correct. So if that's good enough, then that should solve the problem. Relatively straightforward, minor issue with the diagram that shows what screws to take off, but nothing major. Easy to figure out. National Lunar, please make the diagram quite accurate. Okay, good. Let's put the battery in here, see if that works. Okay, battery back in. Wish us luck. Moment of truth. Yes. Whew. Okay. That's a relief. That is a relief. Yeah. Yeah, this is, like I said, you know, almost everything that was installed in this car has been kind of a mess. Wow, everything was agreed on. So it's a little bit irritating. This could have really spoiled our trip. So yeah, setting up the car has been a bit of a challenge. Other than that, the vehicle itself is fantastic. We were a bit worried about getting a bucky because of the stiff suspension. This has Old Man Emu suspension installed, which is still a bit stiff when it's empty, but now that the bucky's loaded, it's driving really well. It's really quite comfortable. It's handling the bumps well. It's handling the dirt roads really well. So very happy with it. Lots of mods, modern mods, so quite a difference from the Land Cruiser 80. So it is nice to have the luxuries, I must admit. And it's nice to have things that are automatically installed, like a reversing camera and stuff like that, and so on. Cruise control, half the fuel consumption. So it's been great in that respect. We're really enjoying this bucky. I can't fault it so far. One or two minor things, but really, it's a great vehicle, comfortable, it's doing all the things it's supposed to do. And it's nice to have a twin cab because there's lots of space to store stuff. You can put stuff in the back, and you can put stuff on the back seat, and yeah, you can put a lot more stuff. So we're still putting pretty much the same amount of stuff. Wow, okay, we've got some additional things. We've now got a freezer as well, in addition to our little fridge freezer. So the freezer is great for a long trip like this because you can chuck all your meat in there and freeze it, especially if you're going to remote places where you're not going to get access to meat or quality meat, or the type of quality meat that we've grown used to. We're spoiled, clearly. And ice. Ice is essential. You're going to travel anywhere in southern Africa, probably in Africa in general, especially in the summertime, ice is a must-have. So it's nice to have a freezer so we can make ice. We've got an ice maker at home which we thought about bringing on the trip, but we decided not to because that's quite a bit of energy consumption, and almost all the campsites that we're visiting in Zimbabwe do not have electricity. So yeah, it would have been difficult to run that and have decent battery life. Going downhill, and we have hill descent control. So hill descent control on.
And 4H.
And 4H. Okay.
Why not?
Let go. Badger does things. Very nice. So different experience to driving the Wild Dog. Obviously the Wild Dog requires a bit more driver input, a bit more knowledge, but it's also a very capable vehicle. I dare say more capable than most. In the worst of circumstances, it will almost certainly be more capable than this vehicle or most modern vehicles. But we hardly ever get into the most severe of situations. The elephants have dropped a tree here. Now, I'm not supposed to get out, but like, what do you do here? You know, you've got to get out and move the tree, right? Keep the door open in case I have to run back to the car. Okay. It wasn't so easy. It's 42 degrees outside, Celcius. And that tree is wedged as well between two trunks there, so it was a bit of an effort to move it. Fortunately, didn't get charred by any lions. Let's talk about Savé Conservancy. So this is the largest privately owned conservancy in Africa. Established in 1991. It's in the lowveld of Zimbabwe, which is the southeastern part of the country. So this is a lot of Mopani woodland, quite a few baobabs here and there as well, which is testimony to the temperature and that it's quite dry here, which is typical climate for baobabs in this part of the world. And it's beautiful. It really is absolutely beautiful. Apparently they have an abundance of wildlife here. It is difficult to see that with the thick bushveld, but you know, that's what it is. That's what this kind of habitat is like. So you have to kind of expect that. We have though seen quite a bit of stuff. On the way driving in, we saw buffalo and kudu and so on, and at our campsite we've seen waterbuck, we've seen elephant, we've seen impala. Baboons also, we've seen quite a few of those guys. We heard the lions last night. And hyena we've heard as well, both nights.
Very close.
Yes, very close. The wildlife are here, but not so easy to see. There's eland down the road.
Hey,
you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a herd of them
Like
actually.
you.
So I'm glad we're getting to explore. But interestingly, if you've been following the channel, you know that we've had no shortage of drama with the Land Cruiser on every long trip that we've had, which was one of the reasons that we, finally decided, okay, we need to upgrade to something a bit newer. And yeah, still drama today. Nothing to do with the vehicle, but still drama. So beginning to wonder, like, is this following us? Is it us? Do we just have really bad luck? Or is this par for the course for most people? So I don't know, let me know in the comments. Is it us? Is it you? Is it everyone? I don't know. My significant other says that she grew up and they had no shortage of car drama on their trips as well. So I wonder who exactly, is bringing this car drama, karma.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, it's day 3 and it's our first day of rainfall. Nice thunderstorm going on outside. The rain's not that intense, but it could come down. The clouds were looking pretty ominous earlier on, and some massive cumulonimbus that we saw, so we might be in for a downpour. It's nice to be safe and cozy in the tent right now. We are 100% dry at this point, and hopefully it stays that way up until tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we drive through to Chimanimani, so that's going to be our first jaunt into the Eastern Highlands. We're very low altitude now, it's really hot. Eastern Highlands is going to be significantly higher and probably a lot cooler. Might be a bit wetter as well, not entirely sure, but we're in for a significant change in climate. It's a relatively long drive. There's quite a bit of dirt road, and then we'll probably get onto some tar road, and we cross the famous Bridge as well, and then head into the Eastern Highlands up to Chimanimani. So looking forward to that as well. We're back on the road tomorrow. Going to spend a bit of time packing and getting on our way. We'll also do a review of the campsite, so look out for the review also. Right. Woo. First tropical thunderstorm. Not sure how bad it's going to get. It's not too bad right now, but we could be in for quite a night. Driving through Savé Conservancy still, but on our way to Chimanimani. And the road's pretty good. The rain from last night's affected it a little bit here and there, but it seems to have drained pretty well. There's actually quite a few drainage channels on the sides of the road, so the road's pretty good. The speed limit's 60. We're managing to pretty much stay at 60 without any issues. One or two minor bumps here and there, but nice day out. Cooler than yesterday. Today is only 36 degrees Celsius. Obviously we've got air conditioning as well, that helps. But yes, still enjoying driving through Savé Conservancy. And this is the famous Bridge, which crosses the Savé River, and when it was built in the 1930s was one of the longest single arch bridges in the world. Birchenough is probably one of the most famous bridges or such engineering structures in Zimbabwe. Was a bit of a slow start today, so we did leave later than intended. So we're driving now. It's in the afternoon. We still hope to get to Chimanimani while it's still light. We will probably be skirting with the sunset, but we should be fine. So past Birchenough Bridge, we've turned off on the road to Chipinge. We had really good highway, but this road through the mountains is quite narrow and a little bit edged from time to time. Still quite decent, but seen a bit of wear and tear in its time. Anyway, on the road to Chipinge. Need more if you're watching. Going to your hometown, bro. In the Chimanimani mountains, it's quite a picturesque view. Lots of tight winding roads, a little bit of traffic here and there, a number of rural villages, a couple of small towns. It's really nice. A lot of this is plantations of eucalypts, fruit trees, or what look like nut trees actually. As we're driving through the plantations here, the road's getting a bit dicey because there's potholes. We've seen quite a few logging trucks as well, which might explain the state of the road. So we're having to drive a lot more carefully here and at relatively low speed, so generally staying at about 40 kilometers an hour, sometimes less. Our first patch of this is actually not gravel road, it's just tar road that's been completely eroded away. So our progress is slowed down quite a bit here. Quite a number of potholes, some of them are quite sharp, so you've got to drive accordingly. And definitely not in the dark. Yeah, I've been here once in my life before, almost 20 years ago. I remember nothing of it. So it's pretty much brand new. It feels brand new. But yes, it is quite picturesque. Well, the road eventually turns into a narrow track with a few cows along the way. It's relatively not difficult going, but you definitely need the right vehicle for this.
Not difficult going, everything's falling over. Yes, sorry.
Relatively not difficult going. But yeah, I think you're going to need we're not in four-wheel drive, we're in two-wheel drive. So you definitely need clearance. And four-wheel drive is not a bad idea here. The road is no longer tar. In fact, it stopped being tar some time ago because the tar's eroded away. But at least that's still a formal sort of road. But now it's pretty much just a track. Noting, of course, that we're going to base camp. We're not going to the main camp that's in town near Bridal Falls. So maybe that's a little bit different. hopefully we'll get an opportunity to drive there tomorrow and check it out. Got in at approximately 6:30 this evening, so just a bit before it got dark, which gave us an opportunity to have a look at the campsites. Justin was waiting for us, so that was good. That made it a fairly quick process. It was fairly quick progress because he made it a fairly quick process. And interesting set of campsites. It's on the mountain sides, it's sort of terraces. We chose the sort of widest one, flattest one that we could find. Quickly set up our tent because we didn't want to set it up in the dark, or the light did fade as we set up the tent pretty much to the point of darkness. Luckily, the guys had set up some wood for us so we could get a fire going as well pretty quickly. Interesting drive here. Good road most of the way until we turned off the main highway that goes up to Mutare and got onto the Chipinge road, which eventually comes to Chimanimani. So some sections of that road not great, but pretty good tar road most of the way, just a couple of potholes here and there. When we turned off to get to Chimanimani and reached roundabout Chimanimani village, then the road started getting a bit more difficult, a lot more erosion of the tar. There's been a couple of tropical cyclones to this area over the years. That's probably had a significant contribution as well. And then finally driving to base camp. That's a dirt road, gets quite narrow, it becomes a track eventually. You have to do a river crossing. So I do think you need a four-wheel drive or 4x4. You certainly need clearance to get here. Getting to the riverbed, yeah, I did have to be in four-wheel drive to do that. You probably can do the two-wheel drive, but it would mean that you need a bit of momentum and you can damage your car in doing that. Other than that, the roads were reasonable. You need a bit of clearance more than anything else to get here. So it was good most of the way, but there were some difficult patches towards the end. The tar is pretty much washed away or eroded away in many sections. So it's bumpy remnants of the under layers of the tar road. And then once you're on the dirt road, it's pretty good as well. Just like I said, very narrow, and then there's a river crossing. So yeah, be aware of the road conditions to get here. The camp itself is pretty basic but very nice. It's really nice the way it's set up in tiers, so it's quite unique. And the facilities are very basic, very clean. You can see that the guys have put a lot of effort into maintaining what they have. Lots of enthusiasm as well at the campsite from Justin and the rest of the guys here. So what it lacks in modern and detailed amenities, they make up for with enthusiasm. Got some hiking in today, short walk up the mountains. We are in the Chimanimani mountains, and of course the thing to do here is to climb the mountains. So we had a short hike up, got some really beautiful views, vistas of the mountains around us and the valleys as well. You can't quite see the mountains from the campsite, or you can, but you get kind of glimpses of them. And that's because we're under these musasa trees, and so they're quite dense within the campsite. So you've got to walk out, and you get above the tree line quite quickly actually. And once you're up there, there's some really good views. Wind very strong as well. Temperature has dropped a little bit today. As you can see, I'm wearing a jersey. It's not entirely cold, but it's not warm either. And I think it's going to get quite cool tonight. So got a bit overcast as as midday approached, and it's been overcast ever since then. It's not unusual for this area. In fact, it can get quite drizzly here as well. It was nice to walk around today and to get a feel for the mountain. There's a couple of hikers that have come through here as well that are doing a 2-day hike altogether. So there are some significant heights here. You can hike over a few days actually. So it's an excellent area if you're into hiking and mountain climbing as well. There's some cool mountain climbing spots here too. Got a good fire going. Gonna get some meat on the braai. So back to braaiing. Last night we had some pasta, but back to old faithful braaied meat. Easy day today, but we got to see all the important sites. So drove up and tried to get up to Pork Pie, but they were doing some road maintenance up there, which is a good sign, of course, for people driving there in future. Got relatively close to the top, but not quite to the summit, and then went back down to Bridal Falls. Did a bit of exploring in the general area as well. Not signposted so clearly, and we were using Google Maps. Points that are stored on Google Maps are not exactly accurate, or at least the Bridal Falls positions on Google Maps. So we had to ask for some assistance, which we got, and got directions, and then once we could see the actual signs to Bridal Falls, it was cool. Speaking of which, Bridal Falls, the guys are doing some really great work on the campsite there. So it looks like it's coming along really nicely. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic campsite. It's just below the falls. It's a really good setting, so I think that's going to be a nice place to camp as well. Also went down to Tessa's pool, just next to Outward Bound Zimbabwe, which was nice. I was there 24 years ago, So it was nice to go and revisit that. It's a beautiful pool with a nice little waterfall running into it. Great place to swim when it's hot. Of course, it's been raining today. We've had a little bit of light rain, but it's been grey and overcast most of the day, so not ideal conditions for swimming. Else we would have swum at Bridal Falls as well, but just a little bit on the cool side today. As you can see, I'm wearing a jacket again like last night, so the temperatures are not quite right for swimming. Not unusual in this part of Zimbabwe in the highlands. So in the summertime it can get quite grey, and it can get a bit drizzly and sort of light rain over significant periods of time, so a couple of days or a few days. You also get downpours here also, but more likely you're going to have this grey drizzly weather from time to time. Still hasn't spoilt our trip at all, or at least our adventure around here at all. It's been a great day. Enjoyed seeing Bridal Falls for the first time and revisiting Tessa's pool as well.